Primetime Seniors is brought to you by Home Helpers, committed to keeping you safe and independent at home.
Welcome to Primetime Seniors, living for today, making choices for tomorrow. I'm Allie McNair. Happy holidays to you. You know, this is the time of year people love to do their decorating for the holidays. But sometimes for some of us, picking out that perfect tree, getting it home, setting it up is a little too much. Or maybe we have a smaller space. Have no fear. We've got some great decorating ideas for you if you don't want to do that. And joining me now is Carol Gedalia. We're at the Greenery. Carol, great to see you.
Thanks.
Now, for those people that like having the tree, it's great because you all will actually deliver it and set up for people, right?
Absolutely. We have a great crew, crack crew. We do all the way to Spring Island.
Wow.
From here all over the island, Bluffton.
Now,
we aim to please.
What about someone that doesn't have the room, as I mentioned, for a tree, or maybe they just don't want to go to that extent? They want to do it on a smaller scale.
Well, we have small trees, 4 to 5 feet, but we also have Norfolk Island pines, and we have little topiary ivy trees. We have topiary behind you. Let's see, we have some topiary rosemarys, boxwoods. So, and then if people want to have color, but they don't want to do a tree inside, we've got beautiful blooming camellias.
Gorgeous.
This one's called Yuletide, blooms at the holidays, so you can't go wrong. And then we'll have lots and lots of color. Christmas cactus, cyclamen, poinsettias, everything to make one happy.
What about a quick gift-giving idea? If maybe I'm at a loss right now to get somebody something that loves flowers or loves gardening like you do here, what would be a good suggestion?
Well, I would say a gift for the holidays. We have amaryllis and paperwhites. We could pot them up for you, or you could take them and wrap them and give them as a gift. We'll have we could make color bowls, which would be a great present. Herb pots, which are always a wonderful present cooking for the holidays. Yeah. So there's no shortage of ideas we can come up with to make your Christmas and your friend's Christmas more joyous. Or don't forget Hanukkah.
Oh, Hanukkah. We've got to celebrate Hanukkah too. Carol Gedalia, as always, with great ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We have a lot more of Primetime Seniors still to come.
Our Primetime Seniors tips are brought to you by Home Helpers, making life easier.
'Tis the season, and it's not always easy to come up with unique gift ideas for seniors. These are folks that have had a lifetime of accumulating stuff. So let's try to find some good ideas for some unique and fun gifts. My father-in-law is always a challenge for me to shop for. He's a retired history teacher, but he's an avid gardener. He's also passionate about history and politics. So my idea this year, a book about George Washington and his interest in farming, and I was able to get some seeds from historic plants at Mount Vernon. That and a kneeling pad for when he's planting and weeding. I think that's a perfect gift for a difficult person to shop for. My dad is not so much into the outdoors, but he loves puzzles, crossword puzzles, Sudoku books, anything like that. So a bundle of those put together would be a great gift idea for him. The folks at Memory Matters have told us that puzzles are a great way to keep the brain alert and active. If my dad wasn't already taking the Brain Boosters class over at Memory Matters, that would be the next Christmas gift and holiday gift idea I'd have for him. One of our favorite aunts lives alone. So this year we're thinking about gifts that will help us ensure her safety as well as things that would make her life more convenient. First thing we thought of was a pair of fluffy socks with those no-skid bottoms. She has hardwood floors, one less worry for us. Also one of the new super absorbent microfiber bath mats. And the last idea for her, a personal response button. That way, if she needs help, we'll have the security of knowing that it's just a push of a button away for her to get what she needs. For more ideas on gift suggestions, check out our Home Helpers website at www.homehelperslowcountry.com. Later in the show, I'll be talking with Victor Jacob from Spa Central. He has some ideas for luxury gifts.
Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. When it comes to chiropractic care, there are a ton of myths out there, and all that does is confuse people that aren't familiar with chiropractic care. So today with me, Dr. Joseph Haven of Main Street Health Center. He's going to do some myth busting for us. Are you ready?
I think so.
Spinal adjustments are painful.
Well, what usually brings patients into our office is pain. So the area that we're working on is, of course, the painful area. So the first few treatments can be uncomfortable because we're working in that area that has brought the patient in. But usually after the first couple, the adjustments are very comfortable. It's a lot like if you understand what a chiropractic adjustment is, it's correcting a locked or misaligned joint. So it's a lot like if someone cracks their knuckles, okay? You have a knuckle, that's a joint that's a little bit locked up, you release it and you hear that release, and it's about as uncomfortable as cracking your knuckles.
Which doesn't hurt at all, as a matter of fact. I've done it. What about the fact that, or not the fact, the myth that spinal adjustments are dangerous?
It's one we hear all the time, unfortunately. But statistically, chiropractic is probably the safest form of health care. If you base that on insurance rates, specifically malpractice insurance rates. Our malpractice insurance for this clinic, which is a full-service, very busy, large clinic, is less than $800 a year. Average medical doctor, depending on his specialty, is between approximately $10,000 a year to well over $200,000 a year. So if we go based on statistics, you're 10 to 200 times more likely to have an adverse problem or reaction going the medical route than you are chiropractic. Wow. To put it in perspective, our insurance is less than your car insurance. So in the course of the year, you're more likely to do damage driving your car than we are adjusting and treating patients every day for 52 weeks a year.
Wow. Here's one for you. Chiropractic doctors are not as educated as medical doctors.
Well, part of that is true to the extent that many medical doctors go on to a specialty and do an additional 4 years. But if we look at the basic medical education, medical school education to a chiropractic school, it's very similar. They're both 4 years. The curriculum is very similar. The real differences lie in chiropractors are not trained. They don't have any classes in pharmacology, drugs, or surgery. And we have less credits in pathology, which is the study of diseases, but we have significantly more hours in the musculoskeletal system and anatomy in general.
Chiropractic care, once I get started, I'm going to be involved for a lifetime.
I love this one because there's a very simple answer to it. If you're overweight or out of shape and you decide you're going to change your diet or you're going to start an exercise program or a combination of both of those, you're going to start losing weight, you're going to start feeling better, better energy, you're sleeping better, your blood sugar is better, your cholesterol levels drop. Once you reach all those goals, you don't say, okay, I'm going to go back to sitting on the couch and eating fast food. You maintain the very things that got you to your goals. So when patients come in and they're in pain or they have restricted range of motion or whatever their complaint is when they come in, we work hard with them to get them to their 100%, to fix that problem as best we can. Once we're there, we always recommend that patients do some kind of maintenance or support care or wellness care, depending on the term you want to use. And the frequency of follow-up care varies tremendously. We have older patients with severe arthritic conditions that if they don't come a couple of times a week, they really notice a difference. And then we have athletes that come in because of an injury, they get treated for a few visits and are discharged and they don't need to come back unless they hurt themselves again.
Here's another one for you. Chiropractors only deal with back pain.
Well, there are some chiropractors that treat just the spine, which would consist of the cervical spine, the neck, the mid-back, the low back, and maybe the pelvis. We are trained in dealing with extremities as well, so we really treat all the joints in the body. So we treat everything from headaches, TMJ, neck pain, shoulder, mid-back, low back, hip pain, knee pain. We even deal with foot problems. We deal with Achilles tendonitis, things of that nature.
Well, Dr. Joseph Haven, thank you for doing the myth busting for us. And earlier we had a chance to speak with one of your patients who wanted to let people know about how her treatment has gone here. Take a listen. I am joined by Claire, who is a patient here at Main Street Health Center. Claire, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
You have been kind enough to say, Allie, tell them my age. It's fine by me. You're 85, and may I say, you look terrific.
Thank you.
Tell me what you've been dealing with pain-wise that you found help here at Main Street Health Center.
Chronic headaches and uncomfortableness in the shoulders, lower right back, and I know that when I come in for a chiropractic adjustment, I will leave without pain.
I mean, and that's a great relief, and I am glad to see that you are doing so well. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And remember, folks, we busted the myths for you. We've heard from a patient here at Main Street Health Center, so if you want to move from pain to wellness, by all means, contact the Main Street Health Center. When a family member moves into assisted living or when a family member passes away, there are lots of decisions that have to be made and tasks that have to get completed. Now, when family members live out of town, that can make the process even more difficult. Joining me now is Elaine Howitt, owner of Life After, a service that really helps families through these difficult times. Great to see you, Elaine.
Thank you very much.
Tell me how Life After got started.
Life After is a very unusual business. I've been a hospice volunteer for a couple of years now, and I had a patient that I had for about 6 months, and she passed away and had 4 children that she left behind. Her children were scattered all over the country, and her farthest son away was in Guam. After she had passed away, she was a tremendous woman, and I thought about what the family was going to do with the house and everything, the personal belongings and the furnishings, everything that was left behind. They had a difficult time dealing with her illness, and it was very time-consuming. And that's how the idea of Life After started. It was a service to help families and fill in the gap of time that they don't have, to go in and save the personal possessions and sell everything that the family doesn't want.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but walk me through it in a sense. I mean, this can be so time-consuming. So if someone does pass away and you've got the family members around the country, how do you help? What is it you do step by step?
I work very closely with the family members. The first thing I will do is find out if they want to keep the house that's here in Hilton Head or if they want to sell it. If the decision is to sell the home, then I'll find the appropriate realtor for them and work closely with the realtor to try to get the house sold as quickly as possible. I will work very closely with them to determine what personal possessions of their loved ones they would like to keep. And then after that has been separated, we'll go through the rest of the house and sell everything that we possibly can. The next step would be to put into consignment items that we can consign, and then donating to local thrift shops. And then the last would be bringing the people in to take care of getting rid of all the trash and doing a complete turnkey operation for the family that's located in various parts of the country.
Wow. Very detail-oriented. I mean, and these are things that have to get done. I think it'd probably be important for people to know that you're fully insured and bonded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I feel it's very important. We're bonded and insured for the family's protection. Our goal is to fill the family members' shoes and take care of the family's possessions with care and dignity. Because of the fact that in today's day and age, it's very difficult for children to get away from work. They have their own children and their own responsibilities. And to do the process and coming into an area that they're not familiar with, it probably will take them a couple of months to do so. Wow. And on top of that, it's very painful, and we can help to make that easier for all the family members.
Yeah, I would think your background in hospice would help with that too.
Yes, I love my hospice work. Yeah. And besides that, I'm a South Carolina licensed real estate broker, and I've worked as a mortgage loan officer for the past 12 years.
You're really working, though, under the direction of the family members. You are with them from the beginning through the entire process. What's great is because you're local, you know those local resources.
Absolutely. As I said, we hold their hand and listen to what they want to have done with their family's possessions. And we do it as easily as possible. We'll ship to them any items that they would like to save. And we just follow their lead in what they want to do with their loved ones' possessions.
I would think too that on occasion one of the spouses will pass away and the other decides they're going to downsize or maybe move back to the Northeast or the Midwest. Can you help in that situation too?
Absolutely, and that does happen a lot down here where the husband will pass away and usually it's the wife that's left behind. and they have no family members here, and she really wants to go back home and be close to her family. If she's elderly, it's very difficult for her to deal with that task. So she can very quickly move back north and know that someone here will take care of everything that she's left behind, and she can be back with her family in no time at all.
Well, Elaine Howitt, I think we're very fortunate to have you here in the Hilton Head area, and I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And when we come back, we're going to check in with Dale Planica of DMP Financial Services. It's end of the year tax time. He's going to have some great tips for us. Stay right there. Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Believe it or not, now is the time to start thinking about state and federal taxes before the end of the year. And here to help us do that is Dale Planica of DMP Financial Services. Great to see you as always.
Good to see you, Allie.
Well, what about looking ahead to next year? Are we going to see some big changes when it comes to taxes?
Well, I think given the recent election results, we can pretty much be assured that the tax benefits that were established under the Bush administration will probably be extended into 2011. So the tax rate structure will not change very much, if at all, in 2011. So you can pretty much say that what the rates are for 2010, they'll be the same rates for 2011.
Well, given the fact that those will probably remain the same, what is it we need to be doing now, and what kinds of tax laws will be expiring?
Well, there's a couple of things that you need to do before 12/31 of this year. There's a residential energy tax credit that is going to expire as of that date, and that's a tax credit which is 30% of the cost of your energy efficient items that you put into your home, and up to $1,500. So if you're spending $5,000 on a new high energy air conditioning unit, you should probably do that before the end of this year, get that $1,500 tax credit, because after January 1st, it's not going to be there anymore.
What about something like energy efficient windows, that kind of thing as well?
Windows would also qualify if you're replacing windows with high energy efficient windows. And insulation, if you're installing insulation into your attic spaces and so forth. So all those things should be done here before 12/31. And there are a couple other things too. There's a tuition tax credit, which is going to, which currently is a maximum of $2,500. That's going to drop back down to $1,500. So you may want to prepay some of your tuition expenses that normally you'd pay in January or February of next year. And then finally, we talked earlier this year about Roth conversions. Your IRA is converting to a Roth. You can do that, anyone can do that now, and you can do it at any time. However, in order to take advantage of the deferral of the income attributable to the conversion to 2011 and 2012, to move that to those 2 years, you have to convert that IRA to a Roth prior to December 31st of this year.
So you got to get going and get those things done before the start of the new year. What else should we be doing right now before December 31st to save on taxes?
Well, the general rule of thumb is you want to defer income and you want to accelerate deductions. Now, for an individual, if you're getting a wage, you really can't do much to defer income. If you're a small business, you can. You can maybe not send out your billings until the end of the year, and then if you're on a cash basis, you don't have to recognize that income until January. However, for most of us that are individuals, the big thing is accelerating your deductions. And to do that, you have to be someone who's actually itemizing on your income tax return. For example, the IRS actually gives you a standard deduction, and until your itemized deductions exceed that standard amount, then there's no benefit to accelerating your deductions. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. For a single, the standard deduction is $5,700. For married filing jointly, a couple it's $11,400. And if you're over 65 and you're married filing jointly, it goes up to $13,600. So you've got to have a lot of those deductions, which principally are your interest on your home mortgage, your real estate taxes and state income taxes, your medical expenses, which has another limitation on it altogether, and then, of course, charitable contributions. All of those things comprise those itemized deductions.
And if you're thinking about maybe giving a charitable donation, do it before the 31st of the year?
Right. Again, once you've established that in your situation you are over that limit, then yes, you probably want to accelerate those things, do them before the end of the year. And it's a good thing at this point. What you need to do is to find out if you qualify. For example, if you now rent a home and next year you're going to be buying or you've bought a home that next year you'll have mortgage deductions, so maybe you want to move those deductions to next year when you actually will be able to take advantage of the itemized deductions. Or the same thing if you are married now, or you were married most of this year but now you're going to be single next year for whatever reason, you have a lower threshold to meet. So a lot of planning has to go into it ahead of time.
And a lot of, I think, nonprofit organizations or universities and the like know that some people want to make those donations right by the end of the year, so a lot of mailings go out, and I would assume that is why. That's right. And you can also do you can do those donations online now too with a credit card, and that would qualify as a deduction for this year. Well, Dale Planica, as always, you have some great information for us. Thanks so much. Okay, great to see you.
As promised, we're back with some ideas for some more luxurious gift suggestions. And I'm here with Victor Jacobs of Spa Central. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Debbie.
I'm glad you're here. We've been talking about different ideas that are maybe unique for seniors, but also now want to bring in a little more luxury, especially for some of our folks that are maybe a little more homebound.
Well, most people don't realize that most massage therapists are set up to come to people's homes. They can bring their table and all of their equipment in to provide massage in someone's home. And in my mind, there's nothing more luxurious than receiving your massage in your own tranquil environment and then letting the person leave and you can stay and relax the rest of the day.
Right. Wonderful. Yeah, it is a lot more comfortable sometimes rather than going into a strange environment when you're supposed to be relaxing. So,
oh, yeah.
When massage therapists are giving massages, do they take into consideration that someone is a senior and that their needs may be different?
Every person is special every time they get a massage. So, of course, when you're dealing with someone that is a senior, you're going to have things that you think about based on that person. Just because someone is a senior doesn't mean they can't get something, and just because someone is a senior doesn't mean they have to get something else. So you can get whatever type of massage you're comfortable with, from something very, very deep to something very, very light and relaxing. And the setup can be exactly what the client needs, from something all the way down on the floor to up on the traditional table, depending on mobility and what the specific client needs.
Right, and you bring all that with you.
Absolutely.
You have your portable table, so there's no equipment that the client actually needs to even have.
The only thing the client needs to have is a space that we can work in.
And not a very large space. I mean, it can be a small space.
No, it can be very, very small.
That's great. What a great idea. And so gift certificates are available for massage and those services. What other services could we go to Spa Central for?
Well, Spa Central actually is a scheduling and booking service for multiple therapists and different locations in Hilton Head and Bluffton. And so our gift certificates are good at our salon, at the different salons. So hair, nails, skin care, and just anything you could get at a spa, and you can redeem it wherever our gift certificates are accepted.
That's wonderful. That's just great ideas. Thank you, Victor. Those were some great gift suggestions. And thank you all for watching, and we wish you a very happy holiday. And remember, live prime time, seniors.